pushing forward, not questioning my abilities just because I am a woman. Yeah. Intricacies of womanhood in all its glory. Yeah.
Wow.
Who would anyone like to share this? And if they drew this symbol, why that symbol?
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So my name is Prima Fasimotoa from Kenya. Why I say the intricacies of being a woman in all its glory, because as Nafula and Kudza and all the other speakers started speaking, you're a woman, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're so many things in one. And even, for example, where I come from and the community that I work with a lot of waste workers, and I've seen this firsthand. We thought that just maybe giving them access to training and supporting them to build their own business is going to work, but then came in the men of the community and they're like, no, that can't happen. So you have to understand how to also support them, but also they come in with their kids, and you also have to now play the role of, as being a trainer, you're also a babysitter, because you have to allow them to learn as they participate in the program. So there's a lot that happens, and even at the end of the day, you see, you go home, you have your kid, you have your husband, you have to cook food, and you have to also think about a proposal that you have to send. So it's just a lot, and that for me signifies the infinity symbol, because it's just so interconnected and just almost never ending.
Yeah. It's all interconnected. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I like that you wrote in all its glory, but also acknowledging that some of it is hard. Yeah. And some of those expectations are laid on us as women, really are societal expectations. Yeah. Someone said feminism works against men. Would someone like to expound on that? Your understanding about that? Again, there's no right or wrong answer. We all have our own understanding. Remember, we said we come here with our. Hey, please. Yeah, just your own understanding of. We all have our own. A war. Okay, I thought it was like wax, and then I was like wax or wax.
I actually went during the exhibitor. It's what called the farmers. The sector is dominated by women, so I work with women. But from where I'm standing, honestly speaking, I really do not understand what feminism is, because the ones that you read on media back home in Kenya, it's basically war against men.
Oh, wow.
So for me, working with women coming into this program, I want to understand what is feminism. So I pass it down to the women that I'm trying to empower on a daily basis.
Thank you. Power, beauty. Oh wow, beautiful that they're right next to each other. Equality, symbol of justice. Symbol of justice. This is really powerful, yeah. Inclusive and engaging, process for common good, for the good of everyone, right? So feminism is really for the good of everyone. It's not just for the good of the woman, right? So I know a lot of times people center conversations on feminism. It's like we're saying we wanna, people say it's you want to now be on top of men, yeah? And you're like, nah, man, we just want. It's simple. We just want equal access to opportunities.
Yeah.
Just simple. Just record human rights. How hard is it? And paving the way forward for others through our voices. Beautiful. We'll speak a bit about this as we continue. Women power. Women power.
Power.
Power. And then true freedom without fear, doubt, or hesitation, Our perspective is equal. Wow. Feminism to me is a constant balancing equality and equity. Balancing equality and equity. Yes.
So it's related to what you were saying, because my name is Margaret from Zambia. So I think from the last 20 to 30 years, especially in my generation, we're always being told, no, girl child, educate the girl child, take your girl child to school. And it's true, and that has really done a lot for the ladies. But then right now we've sort of come to a point where girls are doing, especially in urban areas, rural areas, we still have to go out there, do the work for female empowerment. But in urban areas, especially in Lusaka, I think a number of sectors we have women doing much better than men. Find you talk to your friends, you discover that they are married but single, they're single mothers, or where you find that maybe your friends are really doing well but their husbands are struggling. Or you find your young siblings, the girls are doing exceptionally well, the boys are sort of being left to themselves. So I think for me, so now I think even the government, especially the Ministry of Education, has come to a point where after the exams, like grade 7, grade 9, the cut-off points for boys are now lower than those for girls, so that more boys can advance.
Can join school, yeah.
So for me, like what you said, feminism is not just working for the women, but right now, like in my case, in my country, in Lusaka, it's also now bringing boys up, empowering the boys as well, so that they also do well, so that even when we are giving out our daughters in marriage, you know, like, oh, we're giving these girls to a guy who's also
If anyone knew me from Kenya, they'll tell you the term I don't like hearing is, what about the boy child? You know, but I think context matters. When we use that, because I feel like there is, in Kenya we have something on Twitter, a huge community called the Manosphere. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard that term. It's where, like, you find groups, largely men, but also women, because women also are brought up under patriarchal thinking, who bring down and constantly, anytime you raise an issue about feminism, about an issue about women, a woman has been killed. No, these women are facing this. They'll be like, what about the women? You know, so it's about suppressing the narrative. That is a challenge. But I think feminism is about understanding the different needs of different genders. And what we would like you to walk away with is, how do you think about that even as you run your business? And understanding that it's not a homogeneous approach, right? And if indeed, truly, your innovation is in a space where the boy, you know, is more, the need is greater for the boy, how do you cultivate an approach that suits that? And how do you cultivate an approach that suits the girl? So because approaches will be diverse depending on who needs what, yeah? And a good analogy was used about like equity. If I'm short, and there's a football game, there's a wall, and you're watching a game, I'll have if I'm short, you'll give me a stool. Then the next person, if they're a bit taller, maybe they just need like a small step, right? But the tall person doesn't need anything because they can see over the wall, right? So that's what we do essentially, putting a step up, a stool up. And eventually what we want to do though is remove that wall completely. Yeah? Oppression. So we listen to the last person and then we go back to our seats.
Okay, thank you. I think you actually sort of took the word. So I wrote the equality and symbol of justice. So because for me, feminism and a lot of, in fact, I was all the way trying to look at the photograph and I'm like, I hope he's not, you know, like uncomfortable, you know, because men seem to be uncomfortable when we talk about feminism, and it's trying to, all we're saying is we just want equal access, equality. But what she just said, you know, happening, it's true, you know. So now you see that in the rural, in the urban areas, women seem to be, you know, we're now coming, you know, on our own, we're educated, we're confident. But in the rural area, you still have that imbalance. So whilst in the urban cities, the men now seem to be at disadvantage, which is still not good for us women, because in the end, we're not going to marry ourselves, right? We don't want to be marrying single women. You want to marry a man that is of equal, you know. So, and there's just so much focus on the woman, and then I ask, where are the empowerment programs for the men? Because men, you know, if they are not really also being put out there, we will now find this imbalance, which is still I don't know how to draw. I wanted to draw the lady justice, the woman, the symbol of the woman with the. So we don't want a situation where women are now, and then it becomes a chaos because men now feel you're taking the trousers away from us and all of this. But there's still a lot of work that still needs to be done in the rural communities because so up north in Nigeria, for example, where for the northern girls, you still find situations where they tell a smart female child to stay at home for her dumb brother to go to school, right? Because they want to, put the men forward. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. But I was trying to let him know that he should be comfortable. It's not a war.
It's a safe space, yeah.
It's a safe space.
Yeah. So I'm gonna want us to respond to that, but we're on that side, so we can sit. But before that, sorry.